Check this thing on. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to What Did Adam Say, episode 13 of season 3. That's crazy already. That means we've been going for 15 weeks in a row. I told you 2021 was going to be a problem. Every week, streaming on podcasting, live streaming video games, going hard. So is my camp, though, and I'm very excited to have my good friend Champ on the podcast today. We're going to have the normal conversation like the show, and then afterwards he's actually going to interview me for a school project that he's doing. Real proud of him and the homie Keifer going to school. We'll talk a little bit about that in here. So let's just get right into it. Make sure y'all share it with your friends if you're watching. And let's go.
Wait, what am I doing? Created a movement, won't ruin what you are pursuing. But I wake up every morning never yawning, cause I wake up with the intent to make the day my bitch. And I don't need it, you talking, so just shut your lips. Cause I'ma make it, yeah, I'ma make it, I'ma make it, I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. I wake up with the intent to make the day my bitch. And I don't need it, you talking, so just shut your lips. I'ma make it, yeah, I'ma make it, I'ma make it, I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it up. This shit is crazy, right? This shit is crazy, right?
Man, bro, when I think back to when we first met, it was Arkansas, right? That was the very first time we met.
Yep.
That shit's wild, bro. I'm literally like moving across the country away from where Keifer was living, and we just stopped by your house, bang out the rest of our album, You're Welcome To, and then you get featured on a song. I'm like, I like this dude.
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was because I was living there for a while, and I actually hit you up because I knew like Cash, obviously, and I hit you up to do a song. You're like, yeah, it's in the beat, and like after hearing it, I was like, I don't know if he's really gonna like it, and then I didn't like it, and then you showed me. Fast forward a couple of years, you showed me the beginning concept to Let Me Breathe, and I almost didn't even want to do a song to it because it was that verse and the beat was just so clean. I was like, this just needs to be like solo, like just leave it like this.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did the song. I mean, to this day, people love it.
Same. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite songs that we made, and just like the experience of being there and hanging out and everything. It just was different. Things like that are just super different when you get to connect with other artists, especially just like when you've been trying to connect and it finally happens.
Yeah, that was pretty monumental, and that's really what I like about our camp specifically. It's just that we have been able to really connect through music.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, this year's been nuts for our camp. Like, we went from like not making any music for years to making mad albums. Like, y'all came out with Left on Red. I was supposed to be on that, but fucking work shit and tire problems, always something. That's life. But and y'all released that, and that just kind of like was the catalyst for everything else, because like then we came out with You're Welcome 3 in October, You're Welcome 2.5 in November, Stargazing in December, House of Roses last month. Matt's coming out with Mama's Boy in like 4 days. You're dropping an album here within the next few weeks. I'm dropping an album in March. Like, this is crazy, bro. Like, we just went from making no music to an album a month for almost a year straight.
I mean, that is a lot of content, of music, and like you said, like it started with Left on Red. I mean, that whole album, the process was just a vibe, bro. It was because I originally wanted to call it Summer NCT or Summers NCT because every time I go up there, I'm like, yo, I want some real seafood. I want to go to the beach, and like we do the stuff that I don't get to do out here, because I live in Arizona, so it's like I really
like water,
East Coast vibe, yeah, man. So it was just a whole vibe, and I was actually worried because I'm very particular with verses, so like I'll write something and then I'll listen to you guys, and I'm like, I don't like it, I don't scrap it, but I was feeling every single verse that I put on there. The one I don't like is verse number 1, or on track Untitled 1. That's the only one, but I think it was just because the hook was so clean and Elijah wrote it so well that I was like, my verse just kind of stands out, like it doesn't fit.
Yeah, when I listen back to the mixing of that album too, it's just when I listen to the mixing of that compared to House of Roses, whoo, it's like a different engineer, but it's the same engineer.
Yeah,
You know, it's just
yeah,
the extra time, and it was one of those things where it was everybody got together for a week and made an album.
yeah.
So it still sounds good though. I was listening to it in the car, but you could tell like there's different volumes on different tracks and stuff like that. Like it's lo-fi, but people love that shit. And I know you guys, I think you guys, Cash was telling me y'all did like 25,000 plays on that album.
Yeah, man, it's generated quite a bit.
It's
So
fire.
yeah, we were pretty excited about it.
Hopefully maybe part 2 this year.
Yeah, man, that'd be dope.
I already warned my fiance. I'm like, just letting you know, there might be a couple nights that I'm in Connecticut making an album with the boys. Just letting you know, it's gonna happen. So, cause I just that's what I feel like I've been priming for, and like that's why I don't want to go back to being rusty. You know, like I need to stay sharp because I still don't even feel sharp enough. Like I make my whole album, it's basically done, and then Nick shows me House of Roses, and I want to delete my whole album.
Yeah, like that project is, bro. It took me a couple listens to like really see it for what it was, because like at first I was like, man, this whole thing is a vibe. Like it was moving me, and I was like, bro, like here's where you did amazing, and and then I went back and really listened to like it's kind of genius. Like it
Yeah.
really is. And I don't think he meant for it to be like that. Like he just wanted to vibe out, but there's a lot of
He
great elements in that
he
album.
was literally just like fucking around on that whole thing, dude. Like
Wow.
he literally just it was just like him experimenting, and I'm like, bro, this is like the best album you've ever recorded.
Yeah, like I mean it was, man.
And he's just like, what?
Yeah, like oof, that album, bro.
And I feel like he's already working on new music. I don't know how he's doing that. Like me, like I'm done with the album. It's done. Like I'm finally just like done. The only thing I added is I added an intro to the intro track from like when we used to perform A-Tax back. So like I got the crowd screaming it with me and everything, and then it like fades into the song, and then it like at the end of the song it fades in back into the crowd noise like, oh, I don't think you guys are loud enough. How you doing, Providence? And then it's just like, ah! And it's like, I go by the name of A-Ted. This is my organic. It starts fading out. It's like we like to start this shit off right, and then it goes into that song. The Old Habit song was like, so there's like claps in it. So I felt like having the crowd noise in the intro really blended it into the second song where there's a clap heavy, and I don't say anything at all in the intro of that song. I just let it ride.
And see, that's the thing, bro. Like little tiny like details like that really they really just add a certain depth to these albums.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm excited for what's next, but I felt like I needed my brain. My brain needed a break. It was just like overload of relearning, mixing, and everything, and then all new elements and new things with Antares and stuff. Like it was a whole different beast. I was super grateful for Nick and you too, but a lot Nick for just like he literally made me a whole video, bro, of like his mixing breakdown. He just he screen capped it and everything and sent it to me like, here you go. And I literally, the first song I made, I recorded it, and I was like, okay, let me watch the video. First, you're going to do this. Pause. Okay, do this. All right. Pause. Unpause. There we go. Do this. Like I just kept going back and forth until I had the rhythm of it down, and then I would just I got my, way of doing things the way I like it. Because it's real easy when you do it for yourself. Like, because then if it's just you don't have to change so much of the settings. Maybe a little bit of the highs and lows, but, like, not much.
mm-hmm. That's another thing that I love about mixing is there's no real one way to mix. Like, I've seen millions and millions of tutorials, but, like, how I mix now is not how I mixed even 3 months ago, and I'm pretty sure it's not how I'm going to mix, moving forward. I'm always looking to just, like, bounce. And, like, Casher's really knowledgeable, and like you said, like you hear a huge difference between Left Unread and House of Roses. Even You're Welcome 3, just the mixing was just so different. And I look at him and I'm like, yo, what do you do? And in my head, I'm like, why don't you do it like this? And that's the beauty of it, because his vocals and his techniques, they sound great.
Yep.
And mine work for me, you know what I mean? So
I definitely add a different element with how I am as like how I project my voice, and especially since Nick used to be able to mix me one way because I was a much louder. Like I used to just be like, oh, emotion is yelling, you know, like just yell on everything, and now it's different. Like Nick actually has to be like, okay, that's different. You know, like Versace overalls. I didn't really like my verse recorded that way. It's like, I know I felt some pain, holding on to some things, and because he was like, just take all the emotion out of your voice, like you're like bored at a party talking to a friend about like an experience, and do it that way. And I'm just like, I don't know, man, I don't know if I like that. And I'm just like sitting there. I still don't really like it to this day, but they say it's way better, because I was like, I started recording like, I know I felt some pain, holding on to some things, like going into like that kind of like pitch, and like, I don't know, like I see where you're going with that, but I like it better that way. And I'm like, all right, guys. Sometimes I just trust them. On group projects, I'm like, whatever. I'm with whatever. That sounds good. Cool, go ahead. On my solo projects, I'm like obsessing over one word sounding bad.
Yeah, same. But like with him, I love getting coached, because against you guys, I really don't have that kind of mic time. So I'm really still trying to figure out like good projection and stuff like that. I have like a lot more time writing than I do like actually recording. So there's stuff that I'm still learning, and like I'll look at him and I'll be like, hey bro, what do I need to do? Because this is not sounding how I want. And he's like, I don't know, sounds good. And it irritates me. I'm like, bro, like help me out, like coach me. And so when he does
doing that shit sometimes.
When he coaches you, like I'm very grateful for him. But it's like sometimes he just doesn't want to coach. But I have to take that for what it is. Like sometimes to him, that's how it needs to sound, even though to you it doesn't.
Yeah.
So like when he does that, I'm just like, okay, I've learned to just be like, all right, so then it's good, because if it's whack, he's gonna tell you it's whack.
Yes, 1,000% of the time.
Yeah. So I'm just like, as long as he don't say that, like we're good.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes they'll just say it's whack without saying it's whack, and I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. That's how I felt like. I don't really even like the Wait Up song. You know, like I'm just putting it out there, just seeing what happens. See if people like it. I don't know. It's weird and different.
I could tell you were getting like discouraged. So when that happens, bro, and like and I've been there, trust me. Like I've been there, like a song, you hear it in your head and you're like, I know I can do this, because you conceptualize it in your head. And then it's just not coming out well.
Yeah, it's like I'm not Post Malone. I can't do that.
Yeah, but then we just got to find different ways to go about it. You know what I mean? And whenever you just kind of start getting like, oh, well, this is just how it's going to be. It's like, bro, like it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey.
Yeah, I feel like Cash gave me like a little fix at the end, like to try to make it a little better. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that's more of a bop. I could deal with that now, like, because like the whole song is weird for me, and I could just exclude it. But I'm like trying to make myself uncomfortable with this album. Like all of these songs to me, besides like my intro, like that's like that's like my me. You know, like, I just rap my ass off. That's easy for me. Yeah. And the rest of the album is not that way. It's like
I mean, bro, like that album, it's great, like definitely. But that's what it is. Sometimes, bro, it's really just putting out stuff we're not comfortable with, and like I've had to learn that myself. Like even on my album, there's like 2 songs that I just. One is called Stranger, and it's so similar to Blame, but like different. It's really like a Drake vibe, but for the hook, it's so subtle, and I can't even hit a subtle hook for it. So it's like, it's irritating me, but I'm still going to drop it with the album. You know what I mean? Because down the road, like you keep practicing something and you're eventually going to get better at it, especially with music, like writing, you know, recording, getting the mic practice in, your levels, learning your voice, controlling it, and even teaching yourself how to sing. I mean, anybody can do it, you know? So it's like,
I spend more time singing than rapping. Like when I'm in the car and shit, I just sing. I'm like stretch that shit out. I'm still not great, but it's like leaps and bounds better than what it was.
Facts. Like,
And
I can hear a difference.
yeah, thank you. I'll be practicing. I try to sing with Post, and I'm like, damn, I can't do that. Maybe someday.
Bro, yeah.
Post is fire. I love Posty.
Yeah, I like his music.
I'm excited for your album though. You're done. You have your album cover. You have all the track lists done.
I have everything, bro. I just need, like I said, to get a few songs mixed and mastered. But that's it. I'm actually probably gonna go out to Illinois maybe in a couple of weeks, man, and just go finish it, like fully finish it, and just set out the release date.
Oh, I thought you were recording that all just like by yourself and mixing it yourself.
I did for a couple of songs, but there are a couple that are just gonna need some good processing that I'm just not able to get on my studio. Like, I don't even have a preamp, and preamps actually make the world of the difference, man. So it's like,
really,
yeah. So
why is that?
Well, they can. Well, like for the Apollo, so you're getting a sort of processing power before it ever reaches your DAW. So you could have a compressor already put onto it to control the levels. This is going to help your recording. And also like just the boost in your range, like it gives your voice like more air, and so that's why a lot of these studios, I mean, almost any major studio you go to is going to have some sort of, even they're going to have your preamp, but they're also going to have like analog to digital converters and stuff like that, because you just get a certain saturation and sound. And that's why I prefer to do my pop records or big records with the guy that I record with in Illinois. Because no matter what, with all the auto-tune in the world on an AT-2020 and a Focusrite Solo, I'm just not going to be able to get that kind of processing power he's able to. And like plugins do amazing work, bro. But I mean, having a great recording, first, like my vocals could be great, right? But I record on a $3,700 mic there, and like his vocal chain alone, before it even sees any sort of plugins, is well over 8,000 versus mine, which is 200. So you're gonna hear a difference.
Yeah, sometimes I think about that. I'm like, is it me that doesn't sound that great, or is it just like I can't get it to sound right because I can't, like they're like you're saying, it's processing through all this stuff, and then they know how to like really smooth everything out. And like even live performances, they can add auto-tune live now. Like It's crazy.
Yeah. And it does come down to that. Like everybody will tell you, hey man, you need to start with the great recording, but part of that great recording is having like pretty good software. And don't get me wrong, you can make an amazing sound. I mean, Blamers was recorded here on this studio, but you know, Champagne Showers and This Life and Bad Girl and even my newest song Us, which I haven't released, those were all recorded with him, and you can hear world of a difference. And he really doesn't even like process it like that. You know, he might boost my mids a little bit or cut some lows and, you know, basic de-esser and stuff like that. And it just sounds, it's night and day.
When you have the setup, it makes it nice. I remember when we had like everything set up in Colorado, like what the raw vocals on that were like, oh, we could just leave it like this. You know, like, it really does sound like that, and when you have such a good recording, it makes it so much easier, dude. Like, I can't...
It really does.
I really hope Kasher still has Wanderlost somewhere on his computer so I can, like, remaster that and put it out as ATAC, because that project, to me, is, like, very much one of my favorites, and, again, it was, like, I feel like I didn't mix it well enough. It was one of those that Nick just let me do on my own. He was like, all right, go ahead. And he, like, gave me a couple little pointers again, but he just was letting me do it. And I was like, come on, man. Like, this would be so much easier if you just did it. Yeah. We live together. Just do it. Motherfucker.
That project was definitely dope. It was definitely dope.
Yeah, I just listened back, and it's just too lo-fi for my liking. Like, I feel like the recordings, I remember, like, because I recorded that album a lot. Like, I spent a lot of time recording it, and I know the raws on that are good. And now, like, if I just had all those files, when I did I know he has that somewhere. He keeps everything, dude.
Yeah,
unless the hard drive fails, he has everything. So I know I'll eventually grab that. And, like, maybe next time I see him at his house, I'll bring the hard drive and snag it. But I'm hoping I can make that sound even crazier because that would be dope to drop. And I have no clue what's next after that.
I mean, bro, it could be like a remastered edition or even an anniversary edition. And then after that, bro, work on another album.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about doing, right? Like, if I can get Wanderlust, doing a remastered edition with like 4 or 5 new songs,
Yeah.
and then we have the project coming out in the summer, so I don't need to like rush to put out another full length album.
Mm-hmm.
I got songs in the tuck, we got group songs, everybody's got shit to do, like, so I was trying to. That's who I was on the phone with before we got on here. I was talking to my production assistant. And I'm trying to get him to help Cash with some videos too, because this dude does some crazy shit. I think I sent you his videos.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 20 years old, man. Like he's doing some crazy shit. He just bought how much was it? Like a $3,000, $4,000 camera, something like that.
Wow.
He just bought a drone and everything too. So he's like he stepped it up. He's doing videos in like Miami, getting flown out and paid for them now. So but he still just is like, oh, let's work. You know, like we could figure it out later. I know like you're on a big path. I'm on a big path. Like let's just work.
Well, that's beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
When people are like that, like for real, like, and it's not about, I don't value your work, but I mean, sometimes, bro, people move stronger together than they do like apart.
Facts.
And I'll try to help where I can, you know, obviously, and when I work with somebody, but a lot of the times it's like if somebody hits me up for a verse or something. That's not that I don't value myself or my work or their work. It's like, bro, we could actually move further. Like that song Blame would not be what it was without Matane. Like huge shout out to you, bro. Like I appreciate it. And no matter what, man, like I told him, I was like, it's a very like kind of laid back beat. My vocals are there. It's more of like an acoustic sounding. So I don't want layers upon layers. I don't want some big banging. I want something simple but effective. And he hit me up that night and was like, how do you feel about this? And I was like, that's perfect. Like, that's perfect.
Damn. That was the weird thing about this album too, no features. For me, I'm usually like, whatever. Somebody else can plug here. I don't feel like finishing this song.
Mm-hmm.
On this, I was just like, nope, I want this to be the one album in my whole entire career without a single person on it besides me. That was really difficult for me.
Bro, I'm right there with you. Like my album legit has limited features. And I'm looking at the track list and I feel like every other song has a feature. And I'm like, dude, I only really have like 3 features on there. So it's like, 4. And one is only like legit a hook. And then I had Cash do a hook. So it was like,
how many songs is your album?
11.
Word. Yeah, that's like the sweet spot, bro. I really do feel like.
It is. It really is. And like, I'm the same way. I'm like, man, I'll have something great. And I'm like, I just can't keep that same energy on the second verse or something. And I'm like, man, just somebody else get on it. You know, they'll bring that other element to it. Like this one, I wanted to keep features very limited, you know, and like I said, it's a solo project. So I wanted to really showcase my stuff. And interestingly enough, I go from making, you know, songs like Champagne Showers and This Life and Bad Girl and you know, those kind of like pop songs. So this one is mainly just rap. Like there's a couple of like melodic types on there, but maybe 3 at most. The rest are really just rap.
Damn. I feel like the song, yeah, I guess the song you sent me was like melodic rap.
Which one?
I think it was Blame.
Yeah, Blame is definitely like, there was a melody to it, but it was more of a cadence melody. That I mean, it was more like an Eminem type. I tried my heart out, you know, spill it out. But the one called Us, I'm not sure if I sent you that one. That one, Cash, I heard it and he's like, okay, like the R&B like bag, I feel you. And I don't even know what I was going with on that one. I just wanted like a melodic, you know, it's a very full produced beat. It was by PS Beats and they make great beats. So like I needed something full on there, and that's like really the only one. I mean, there's a couple other one. I think one's called I think I called it Virgo. That one's kind of similar to Blame, but more melodic. So but the rest are like straight rap, bro.
I feel like I went. Well, I guess I did like half and half. Like when I really think about my album, a lot of the like I try to challenge myself with pockets. Like in that Money Talks one, it's a real like mainstream beat, and I
Hmm.
tried to like stay into a mainstream pocket and not like force any double times. Keep it all really smooth and simple and similar flow. And that's so hard for me because I'm like, nah, I want to just like go off right here.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm telling you, bro, like getting outside opinions too, like as you're
So
writing,
important.
is super important because they give you like as an outside listener, like an unbiased opinion. Hey, you should switch it up here. Hey, no, keep it the way it was. Because how I heard it, I was vibing, and then all of a sudden it's just a hard switch. So it's like I'm always looking for that creative feedback, especially now. When I'm putting my very first album out ever, and I just want it to be perfect. And Casher told me, I think 2013, whenever I was really gonna release my first one, and I was banging out songs left and right, and he was like, don't put out something you're not going to be happy with, especially if it is your first album. He's like, it doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years. He's like, make sure it's perfect because you don't want to be like, hey, this is my first album. Even though you've grown from that, like that's really like what you did when you know you could have done better. And that advice has stuck with me through this whole thing. So that's why I've sat on it for so long. It's like, bro, I went back and I gave myself to listen, and I'm like, okay, so now I need to start working on ad libs. If you know me, I really don't do a lot of ad libs. There's some certain songs that I heard second, third time listening through. I'm like, I need this here, I need this here. So it's good to really. But I love that process. I love. It's like an artist. They can't wait to see the canvas when it's all finished, but they have a conceptualization in their head,
Hmm.
and that's how It starts with me. So whenever I'm laying it down and I hear it, and then I go back and go back and go back and nitpick. I'm like, let me change how I say this or this word, and then I'll start adding the ad libs, and I'm like, this is 10 times better than if I would have just dropped it.
It's funny because I like never really go back and change how I write once I start recording. Like
It,
it's like it's more just nitpicking how I say it. Like
mm-hmm,
I have like man, when I started rapping, I was super monotone, and then like I said, I just screaming was emotion to me, and now it's like trying to capture the perfect emotion,
mm-hmm.
and it's so much more difficult.
It is. I mean, it really is. That's even something I struggle with, bro. Like they told me on Blame, they were like, "You're getting louder, but you're not really putting any emotion in this one part." And I was like, "I hear it, but trust me, if I yell, it's like to me that's the emotion I was going for."
I only
But
know one emotion, dude. It's to
yeah,
yell.
yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I don't know what more you want from
I'm not an actor. I can't do it, man.
me. Man,
Acting. That's funny. That makes me
yeah,
think of the skit video we did for YW3.
yeah, man, that was pretty funny. And Casher is this guy who he downplays what he does, but if you really watch the genius that this guy is, like Meg was in there and she took that part like great. But Cash, I wanted to laugh. Like if I was there, I would have been laughing my ass
Dude,
off.
I did so many times. Like, I wish I don't know if he still has the outtakes from that. Like, so many times. Him coming in. Are you kidding me? And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
exactly. The way he comes in, and it's so funny.
but you
And bro, it's so
you were
funny.
saying he stole the show, basically.
It's not so much he stole the show, it's that his acting was pretty much spot on, bro. Like it was him because we know him. But to an outside person, it was almost like Will Ferrell like. It was like he wasn't really trying, he was just being himself. And that's what was so funny about it.
Which, if you know him with with his connections, he probably would be able to do that same exact thing. Like,
Yeah. And then, Mask coming in, and I thought that shit was so funny that he was handcuffed, and bro, he was like, "Yeah, that's him right there."
that
And
was my idea. I was like, what if Matt snitches?
bro, like that to me, that was so funny. I was like, "Bro, this is good,
Yeah, that
man."
that got slept on. I feel like hardcore. That was a funny skit. Like, I feel like it's funny maybe just because of the people that know us, though.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you'd have to know the whole backstory of like,
Hmm.
yeah.
And that's a lot of times where like it comes to play, like letting people know, like that background.
Dude, Nick in the background just.
Yeah, and I like how the camera zoomed in on his face, and his eyes were just like as he was scooting off. I was rolling. I was like, man, this is good. Like this is good.
Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. We need to definitely do one of those for whatever project we come with in the summer.
Yeah. I have a feeling this summer. I have a feeling we'll probably shoot a music video too.
Well, so the cool thing too is I fucked this up by not downloading the recording, but I recorded the rundown initially on this in StreamYard because you can. There's just a record option. You don't have to stream.
Mm.
And I just forgot to download it from here. It only saves it on the server for like 3 weeks or something like that. So I lost it, but we could do that and actually download it, and that'd be super dope to like
Yeah.
get the recording of making a song and whatnot. Especially like the first song of the album. It's dope to get the recording of that. Like that's
Hmm.
because that's the rundown was like the very first. Here we go. Let's go. It's this.
Yeah, man. Like that was actually my favorite track off that album.
Yeah, it's. I think it was a lot of people's, and it sucks because it's the first one. I wish it was, it is the perfect intro song. But
It
it's just
really
like,
was. Like it really was, man. Like I don't know, but I kind of was like mad at Carried Away because when he's like, "Yo, I need you on a hook." I just hearing one verse, like I had a completely different like idea of where the song was going, and then after it was all done, I was like, I could have done something similar to that because I had this big idea in my head for a dope hook, but I was like, nah, they want that grunge feel, and so I did that, and he was like, nah, it sounds perfect at the end, and I was like, it really does, like
mm-hmm.
it sounds dope, but I was like, yeah.
When my fiance heard that song, she was like, "What? When do you rap like that?" I
That
guess.
song, yeah, that one and Carried Away are definitely my two favorite, I should say. Not just the rundown, but Carried Away as well. I do like that one.
I think Carried Away is my favorite.
It's just a whole vibe for me. Like it's a super big vibe, and I think you guys did an amazing job on it.
I think Touch the Sky is a slept on song too.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
it's
think
a
that's my boy Snap. I think that's his favorite song.
it's like it's we always laugh about it because it's like I wrote and sang the hook like I was on the way
Hmm.
there and I was like, guys, I think I came up with a dope hook, and I was like, I just want to touch the sky with you, baby, and they were just like, they didn't say anything, and then when it came time to record the song, Nick was like, okay, try that hook, and I was like, oh, you guys liked it? He's like, I don't know, try it, see what happens,
Yeah,
and I think we recorded it like one way, it was like higher pitched, and then he's like, nah, just take out like all the emotion, like smooth out your voice. And then I re-recorded it, and he was like, "That's it. Like that bangs right there. Like that's it."
yeah. A
And
lot
then
of the
Matt
album,
sang, and Nick didn't.
yeah. It That album gave me a lot of like Marshall Mathers LP 2 vibes.
Hmm.
Like especially, I think it was you said Versace coveralls or the Gucci coveralls.
Versace overalls.
Yeah, bro, that one just sounded so much like a couple of songs that he put on MMLP 2, and like it wasn't a bad album at all. It was, for me, it was like I could tell when you guys do music versus when we do music. Like it's like night and day almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like with you guys, I feel like you guys just have that chemistry where it just goes to like this certain place, whereas with us, we're sitting there and we're like searching up different types of beats, and then we all have an idea of how we want a song to sound, and I just ride the wave. I'm just like, bro, I love the beat, so whatever we do, like I'm loving it. But a lot of those beats on Your Welcome 3, I wouldn't have been able to do anything with because just my style and stuff that I even listen to or find inspiration in, it was just so far from that. So that's why I was like, when y'all dropped it and I heard it, I had a smile on my face. I was like, yo, like they were in their bag on this. Like that's who these guys are, and it was such a different sound than Left Unread.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of out-of-pocket stuff for at least me and Matt. You know, maybe not so much Nick. Nick is just in all the pockets.
He really is. That dude literally can mold to anything, and it's so annoying.
It really is. Fuck him.
Like on track 11, bro, I got up there and I rapped. I was super tired. I was so tired, and I actually took the last 8 bars off because I fucked up, and I was like, "Fuck it, just stop." And I was like, literally telling him, "Just stop." And he put it on beat, and it was like, "Fuck it, just stop," and it just like faded out. And I was like, "No, I don't like that." So the next morning, I got up and I wrote 4 bars, and I was like, "I just want to have it repeating." And when I wrote it and I recorded mine and Mass recorded his, I was like, "Oh, bro, this is the song right here." And this is the first time I heard Cash like not nervous, but him saying something to us before he got to the mic, because you know he's confident in everything he does. And he tells us, he's like, "I'm gonna try something different. I don't know how it's gonna sound against y'all's." Like, and then he gets up and he's like, "I've been on my shit like the Wild Wild West. I'm been on my cowboy shit like the Wild Wild West." And he put these Travis Scott type ad libs, really,
Mm-hmm.
and we threw our shit down and we were like, "Man, how you gonna get our hopes up and then just body us like this?" Like don't get me wrong, Mass killed that verse, and I think I did great, but
Whenever he
just
says
brings
that, he thinks he has a heater, and he's just not sure, and it's just a trap. It's just him being like, oh yes, we're gonna get him on a song finally, and then he just smokes you, and you're like,
smoked us, bro. Like, and then you know and I don't really feel like I'm a change. Like he threw in some melodies, and I was like, "Is there nothing I can shine on here, bro? Please, like, damn, like, give me something."
can you just not be good on one verse?
Yeah, come on, let me have something, bro.
He's been in a bag lately.
Yes. That's why I've been just, I'll pull up a beat whenever I feel like writing, and I'll just write a verse. I'm not doing anything with them. I'm just trying to stay sharp, really working on. It's like vocal exercises for me. It's like working on wordplay and really just different types of like melodies. And I'm really just hoping when we get up there this time that we just drop something that like tops left unread, that might start a whole new chain of events, and I definitely want to be a part of that.
I could see that, because that's basically what Left and Red did. It really is. Like it really was like a FOMO thing. Like when Nick and Matt were like, "Okay, we're gonna, like we want you to come make an album. Like let's make You're Welcome 3, like the album that should have came out. Like if we all kind of stayed together, and like, but they wanted to record regardless. Like I knew I was gonna. It was like, what, I'm not missing out on this again. Like this is history. This is legacy. No matter, I don't care if people listen, whatever. Like it's just finishing the chapter of like that, which is like that's what's kind of scary for me going into music, because like You're Welcome 3 was like, I feel like we closed the door on You're Welcome. Like now the trilogy's done, and then it's like now this album here is like closing the door on like everything else that happened, and now it's like whew, blank page completely. I'm like, that
But
feeling,
see, that's the glory of it.
It's exciting, but it's also scary.
It is, but see now, bro, you can hit any bag you want, and you don't have to like limit yourself. So now all that shit has like the resolution. It has an ending, so people are going to be happy with that, and you can move forward. It's not like me, where this is my very first album. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have accomplished so much. So now it's like, what do you have to do? Well, you could do anything. Me, I'm honestly still learning a lot. So it's like, I don't really know where I'm going to go next, or what I'm going to do next, or if I'm even going to have, like, I even teased it. I was like, I'll probably just make a couple songs a year and just release them as singles, and my one goal was to have an album just once. But you guys have already accomplished that, so you guys can really do anything. Like,
many albums. I was actually listening to my album from when I was like 16, Commercial Break. It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. I think one of them might actually be out on, I put it out on DSPs because I'm trying to, dude, DistroKid's fucking me right now, right? So I pay to have 5 artists. And in my mind, ready? Nick, Matt, you, truly, me. 5.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing is they lumped Casher ATAC as one artist for You're Welcome and You're Welcome Too. Then they lumped Casher ATAC Omas MG as one artist. Then they did Vortex as one. Then they did like another grouping of all of us together. So I really only have like me and Casher and Mass on there. It's fucking stupid, dude. So I found a video that said that this is a way to cheat the system without having to pay more money, and it says that you go onto My Music and like edit the artist, and then once it clears, you can upload music. So I'm just like sitting here waiting for it to clear, like, ugh. But I'm getting impatient.
Well, see, DistroKid too. I think it's great that they like publish to all these platforms for you. But the one that I do have an issue with is like right away, you should be able to click to have it uploaded to your YouTube. Like it didn't give me that option.
Yeah.
So Blind Fury played my song, and you know he was like, "Bro, like I want to share your shit." His chat was going wild, and they were like, "I found it, but your comments are off." And I was like, "That's because it's not my YouTube. Like that's what DistroKid made." And it comes up as, you know, Fraley topic or Casher topic or Cash and ATAC topic. And so you go back in there and then it takes, I don't know, like 2 weeks to a month for them to redirect it to your actual YouTube. So you're missing out on all those plays, all those subs, all those comments in the meantime. And it's like they can really just give you plays and up likes.
Yeah, that happened with me because when I changed it to Vortex, apparently there's this electronic artist that
I could see it.
yeah, and he's from like Germany or something like that. So Wanderlost has a bunch of plays because of that. Like the intro has 2.4K just on the upload from the Vortex topic thing, like you're talking about.
Oh,
wow. But they all have like views like that for no reason, just because of this guy here.
Yeah.
And like that's the Wanderlost album had like 5,000 plays on it, and that was like a brand new artist name. Didn't really even promote it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't get plays at all. I look at the stats and I'm like, Jesus, come on, man.
It's just different, man, and that's why I feel like even though we have a certain like sound, and I think any sound can strive, if you listen to music nowadays, and it's not even just what's on the radio, if you look at like hot charts on like Spotify and shit, it really does all kind of sound like a melodic vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of fit in there, we're gonna have to have at least a couple songs like that, and that's really what I've been working on. And to Cash, it comes naturally, but to me, it's like I don't really hear songs and think, oh, melody. I think, oh, I hear Drake or Eminem on this, you know, and then I'll try to like tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the climate of rap right now. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, we're not really making like music videos and shit to it. That's why I'm excited that Cash is working on a music video for his album.
Yeah.
Because that feels like mainstream to me without really selling out type of thing. Like that's how it feels. Like it's just real mainstream.
And I mean, bro, like I used to hate the melodic shit and like you know, all that, and had no appreciation for it. But if you really sit down and try to make a banger song, like a melodic type, like these dudes are doing, I give them all the respect in the world because they are fun to like kind of vibe to, you know, and they do have this like certain esque to them where you can really just vibe out and like kind of rap along to it. Like Lil Baby, I didn't like him at all, but bro, that dude is actually like a melodic genius. Like
facts.
And you know, I, as an avid music lover of all music, like I have to give credit where credit's due. And you know, people think it's just so easy to make those types of songs, but it's really not. Like that Loser song Cash did, well, that's a masterpiece. I mean, it's a masterpiece.
It really is. I can't figure out my favorite song from that album. I can't.
Mine has bounced around, yeah.
Yep. It's just one of those projects, and that's how you know it's a good one, because it's like, damn, fuck him. It really
Yeah,
made me
for
hate
real.
my album. I just was like, I don't even want this. Is like all the songs felt old to me. I was just like, I need to try something new now.
Yeah, man. It's and like I
Actually,
said, he bodied that. But I told him originally, I don't think I came out the right way. I was like, it's hard to pick a top three, and he's like, well, glad to know you like three out of the seven songs. And I was like, no, what I'm saying is, you cannot pick even a top three. Like you just can't. Like
that,
they're all like top seven. You know.
you literally all seven are top one.
Yeah, like for real. Like you just can't choose one.
I was actually just looking because like I thought he sent me the beat pack, but I can't find it anywhere. Hmm. So I was like, I don't want it to listen to a beat. Just hit a random one and be like, play, go. But shit. Oh damn, we're already like 45 minutes in. We haven't gotten to talk in a
Wow.
while, so I
Yeah.
figured. I don't want. I want to get into your segment too before we get too far into everything.
Yeah. You just let me know. Like I said, I just composed like seven, I think, and really just kind of they were the ones that stood out most to me. Like there was a lot in there. There was like tell your significant other this. They just really didn't apply. And they were like, you can use these questions, and these were the ones that kind of I felt you could use to talk about urban acres and or your music.
Word. Oh yeah. Do you need to share a screen, or you're just good like this?
Yeah, I'm good like this.
Word.
So the first one is if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. One quality or ability. Well, I could do both. One quality that I definitely would like to wake up with is to be like more patient, for sure. It's something I still work on like every day of my
Hmm.
life. It's like every day of my life I'm trying to work to be more patient. I was always like super negative. Like you remember me from way back. Like
Hmm.
I was always the negative one, and I just like had a rough upbringing, and I let it carry on into life until eventually I was like, this is stupid. I gotta change it.
Hmm.
So I'd say like that would definitely be it. Just being more patient, like to not just be like
Yeah,
God.
man. It's a hard habit to break.
And the ability I would say would be to mine Bitcoin, because right now if I could mine Bitcoin, I'd be a millionaire in a couple days, and I'd be able to do all the changes for the world and everything that I want to do.
Yeah. Those are some good ones.
Dude, I'm working on some crazy stuff right now. Have you ever seen the movie Kiss the Ground?
No.
Man, I literally man, I've cried to like three movies in my life.
Hmm.
I've cried to Marley and Me because I feel like if you have a heart, you probably cried a little bit to that movie. Especially if you had a dog, you could
Yeah.
be like, oh. Funny enough, when I was like a teenager and I was going to Bible study and stuff, my uncle took me to see Passion of the Christ in theaters, and for some reason that made me cry. Like it just felt very real. Like they did a
Yeah.
very good job depicting it, and I was like, damn, if he really is a real person and these people treated him like this just because of this, like it's really messed up. And then this movie, and it's just because like I'm working on some projects right now to like clean soil, and it was all about how if we just had better soil, because the soil is ruined from factory farming and pesticides, we could
Hmm.
actually fix the temperature of the earth and bring down the CO2 levels in a way that we've never seen before. And I was like, damn, I'm literally doing that right now. Hold on a second. I just
Hmm.
need some funding. Let's go.
Yep. Yep.
Life purpose stuff.
That kind of reminds me of it was obviously a different direction, but that Aaron Brockovich, you know, that's
Yep.
kind of what it reminds me of because I had to watch that for school, but I had actually seen it whenever I was a lot younger, and of course I didn't understand it at the time. But reading more up on it, I was like, dang, she really is like she was badass. So okay, those were some good ones. Now this could just apply to anything, like whoever you would like given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want to have as a dinner guest?
Gary V.
Gary Vee?
Yep, Gary V. Have you heard of him?
I've heard the name.
Yeah. I just feel like a dinner with him would literally, like, I'd walk out of there and I would just be so fired up that I could, like, I wouldn't be able to fail. And I feel like I would impress the shit out of him at a dinner, so, you know, it would really, it's like a double whammy. I'd learn a lot, and eventually, after a lot of impressing him, eventually it'd pay off.
See, that's a good reason, for sure.
Dude, he's taught me so much with just free content on his podcast, and you know, like that's the thing is like coming from nothing. I never wanted to be greedy, and he preaches that. He preaches give more than you take, give more than you ask, and I always try to do that too. And it's just like I feel like he's in my head sometimes. Like I'm like, no, don't do that. Give more than you take. Give more than you take. Ask them if they need help first. You know, like don't ask for something right away.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that's a good one. Okay. And I think I know this one, but would you like to be famous? And keep in mind in what way, but like we could only choose one, right? So I know you're doing all this stuff with Urban Acres, your podcast and music, but which way would you like to be famous?
As me. So like that's my biggest thing that I've been branding towards. Like we're about to do a commercial for my CBD company. This is called What Did Adam Say? Every one of my things has switched over to What Did Adam Say? I even thought about not going to ATAC and actually using Adam Souza instead. Like using my real name on there, or What Did Adam Say as my artist name, like just keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely want to be for good reasons. Because again, it just takes money, and I could do all these things to fix the world, and it's set. And I feel like that's kind of cliche, like that's what people want money for, and then they end up going bad. But it's just like, I don't know, I'm good. I came from nothing, and I don't need much. You know,
Yeah.
like give me some land and some guns and my friends and family, and I'm good. You know, like I'm already thinking ahead, like you know, like what position could my sister work in? What position could my brother work in? What position could my mom? You know, like what my mom, my fiance, like all these people. Like how can I place all these people into positions that of like empowering them? And being famous would just add fuel to the fire, because unfortunately, when you're on the rise, your friends and family are like, "You failed again, failed again." Failed again, but then once it hits, they're like, "Oh shit! All right, we saw all that."
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
I mean, I think that's perfect too, and I do honestly feel like you do mean what you say when you say it, because you've noted it a couple of times, like even before, like talking about coming up and all that other stuff. It really was about like we could make the world a better place. So I really feel like you mean it. So I mean, the sincerity's there.
That's what's like. I never really talked about this. Like when me and Passionate MC had beef. It was because we had a talk about Passionate was here, and we were like here. You know, like we weren't at his level, but we were charging towards him.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to take him out. I said I wanted to work with him, and we both had a talk. He said, if I'm here and I bring you guys here, you might bring me up here. And then even if you get above me, then you bring me up a little bit more. We're all just getting higher together. Like we're all growing together. And then that all kind of like fell to shit with a bunch of ego problems. And that's what caused me and Passionate's big demise. And that was 2011 and 12. You know, like, and I was still preaching the same things, dude. Like, it's all about, I do the same things with businesses. How can I help you to build up your business right now? Like, everybody's struggling from COVID. How can I help you? And it's the same thing. Like, I still get pushback from people that think I'm doing it for the wrong reasons when I've never shown otherwise. And I just, again, going back to like being more patient, I've just gotten to the point of getting better at just being like, whatever. You'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can show them, you know, because it does go further than, you know, telling somebody, like, especially in a day when all people do is talk. That's why I'm very light on social media now. Like I'll post, hey, I'm going live, or I might share some memes, but I really just keep my moves under wraps, you know?
Yeah, I kind of that's the one thing about like fame and trying to get into like branding yourself is like you're like forced into doing that. That's the only thing that sucks.
Yeah.
Like that I can say that I can't stand. Like I don't like even being on Facebook most of the time. I'm hard I like on Instagram never anymore. Maybe like 10 minutes a day of like why am I even on here?
Yep.
Answering messages, I'll like put up a story just to like have some content, but I haven't posted anything in like 6 months because
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm kind of in a place where I have a lot of content stored and I just got to do something with it. I got to start organizing it and splitting it up, putting it on all these different platforms and whatnot. But it's just doing so much, man. And that's again comes back to money because if I just could pay somebody well to comb through all this stuff, look for the good content, and post all the clips and everything, or not even post them, just make the clips, send them to me. I can post them. Like I can choose what I post on the days. I still want to have control of that, but money changes everything, dude. Like I have a vision and money and fame leads to money sometimes. It might not have to happen like that for me with some of the moves I have, but I know that what I'm going to do if I make these big moves is flip that into other big moves that is just going to add to my legacy, I guess, more than fame. I guess that's a better way to say it. I don't really want to be famous. I want to just leave a legacy that is very well known for the right reasons. I just want to prove that like you can go from nothing, homeless, living in a car and shit and sleeping on couches in low income projects low income housing projects, and like it's just to go from that to possibly being a millionaire with just a couple moves, just a couple right pieces put into place. They're right there. I can see them. And
Yeah.
just those couple moves, and then just everybody. I've been so public about everything, all my failures, all my like depression, the times when I feel weak, like the things I'm trying to fight through, because I just want people to see like this is real, dude. Like this is, and it's already like I've had people that have like started things and gone further than me, and then it's just they don't take me with them. I don't take it personally, like it is
Yeah.
what it is. Eventually, our paths will cross again. It just
Yep.
it is what it is. I just, it's again, give more than you ask.
Facts. So, with that being said, so far, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Hmm. I think, that's a really good question. I never like stop and think about, like I feel like that's something, especially as men, that we do. We don't like stop and even like pat ourselves on the back once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just like just keep going, keep working, keep
Hmm.
working. Um, I'd say it's a cumulative. It's a cumulative of like all the people I've been able to bring together and watch them flourish, even if I'm not really in their lives anymore. I've been able to connect so many people, dude. It's so special. And sometimes I connect them in disliking me. Sometimes I connect them in, thinking like-minded like myself, or, just fits in and I don't know, just vibes well. But yeah, I'd say that's up there, and just clawing out of where I was before. I'm definitely not in that place anymore. I'm definitely not there anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. And I mean, that's just growth. Like, it's crazy to see where we were, 5 years back, and then to where we are now, and
Mm-hmm.
just our thought process. And I guess like it's life, the stuff we go through, and we kind of really, especially having a family and stuff, like it'll put a lot of stuff into perspective.
It did. When I had my son is kind of when I was like, okay, all right, skirt, we gotta figure some stuff out here, buddy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're not a good example for our kid right now, and if we could go ahead and fix that.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, especially having I had a boy. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like I'm raising a man.
Mm-hmm.
I need to teach this boy to be right. Like, I don't want this boy to be a man that fucking rapes some chick or thinks it's okay to like force his will on a woman and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he needs to know these things. He needs to know about boundaries and everything. Like, he needs to know about the things that like men aren't taught. You know, like,
Yeah.
and he still needs to be a strong man because I do feel like society is kind of against that sometimes. You know, like the strong alpha male is a lot of societies like, ugh, toxic. Like, no, just being strong and alpha doesn't mean you're toxic.
At all. Yeah.
Like you kind of have to be like, there's women that are alpha leaders, you know, like it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's crazy.
It really is.
I had to mine pi. It just popped up and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go mine.
Mm.
It's like a free cryptocurrency app. You mine pi and
I think my buddy was telling me about it.
super worth it. There's only a couple more days. Like, so there's a countdown at the bottom that says 2 days, 16 hours, 2 minutes. And I think what they're either getting into the real mod of this, so they're gonna really launch on the network now, and it's kind of crazy. It's called the main net. So they're gonna, right now they're on the test net, and they're on phase 2. Phase 3 is when they move into the test net, and they had originally said that they were gonna do it when they hit 10 million people on their network, and I think I want to say, let me look in the moderator thing real quick. I think they said there's 15 million right now. 12 million. So they've already surpassed that. So I look back on their history because I'm like, okay, they were supposed to be in phase 3 at the end of 2020. What happened? And like, you know, obviously coronavirus set everybody back. But I looked back and they have a lot of announcements on March 14th. 3.14.
Yep. Pi. Yeah.
Yep. So I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna half. So the mining right now is like you get 0.2 per hour to start, and then you can get more as you add more people, or like 0.04 right now. It's gonna get halved to either 0.02 or 0.01, or it's just gonna go away completely and you can't mine whatsoever. So they haven't told anybody what's happening next. So I'm like, dude, y'all gotta get on this because, like, Bitcoin was mined.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading about Satoshi. I can't remember his last name. The gentleman who created Bitcoin. He was said to have mined over 1 million Bitcoin. Like, bro, that's worth so much money right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 47 billion right now, or 4.7 billion, somewhere around that.
Yeah, it's up there.
And nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows where he went. He's just a super mystery man. And so this is taking a lot of the steps with more convenience because technology has upgraded a lot since 2011 when Satoshi made the Bitcoin. So this really could be the next Ethereum or next Bitcoin, and it's blockchain technology. So it's not able to be counterfeit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super exciting, and they're already talking about launching at 1 cent, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but Bitcoin launched at like 0.000000001, like something like that, you know, like 1/1000th or 1/10,000th of what this is going to be worth in the beginning, and with 12 million people already pumping this into the system and already have Pi in their wallet and can now exchange it for other things to make it worth more money. I think it might be. It could be like the next big crypto, and I'm just like, I'm definitely encouraging all my friends to get on it because it's like, it's a free thing. You literally click one button once a day, unless you're like me and you're psychotic and you want to add everybody. Like, I got 10 people on my team. So I'm mining like 0.54 Pi every hour. So I'm getting like 13 a day. I think I'm over 100 now. So just for shits and gigs, if, let's just say it ends up being worth what Ethereum is, which last time I checked it was $1,720. I could have bought Ethereum at $248 in December. Stupid me. So I have 97 Pi right now. So 97 times 1720 is $167,000. And then 97 times what Bitcoin is worth, which is $47,000. It dropped a little bit. It's $46,000. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's $4.462 million with just what's in my thing right now, and it'll keep accumulating because I'm mining, and now I'm trying to do it on my computer. Like, I'm trying to get into this because I think it might be it, man. Like, and if I'm right, it's like I wipe away my mistake of not buying 100 Bitcoin for $100 in 2012.
Yeah.
You know, like I could make $4 million right now off that, and still sit on some Bitcoin to make mad money off in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, man. Like if it's just like one of those things, you're like, well, what's the next thing?
I feel it.
I hope, man. Are you getting into the stock market and everything and the crypto game?
Yeah, man. I'm more of like a gut instinct type of guy, and then followed by obviously research on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like before Doge ever like even jumped up, man, I had damn near 5,000. I was sitting on 2,500 at the time that I sold. Right before, like legit, right before Elon Musk tweeted, and it started spiking. I sold it that day to buy into AMC, and I had that for literally over a year. And I was like, this is why I don't listen to anybody. Like, and my buddy was pulling me one way, my brother was pulling me another way.
Yep.
So I took that out, reinvested in Doge. Obviously it was less, so I was sitting on 1,500. I just got tired of it. I was fed up. So he tweeted at it again. He tweeted it out again like 2 nights ago or something.
Yep.
Right before that, I sold it and pulled out of Robinhood because I was in Robinhood. I was like, I'm leaving Robinhood anyway.
Smart.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like, they're like, oh my gosh, it's at 10 cents. I was like, bro, twice now.
The amount of free shit I'm getting, again, just for like helping build other people up, like giving them apps besides freaking Robinhood to go on, and like, bro, I got 12 free stocks in Webull right now. 12.
Yeah, my buddy.
13. Shit, when did that happen? I got a 13th one, so I got like $140 worth of stocks, maybe even more than that, and I think I need to refer 3 more people to Webull, and once I do that, I get the 6 spins, because I get 2 spins per person. I get 2 free stocks, 6 free stocks there, and then I get 10 more once I get to the 10th person. So I'm about to get 16 more free stocks.
Wow.
And like you were talking about your intuition and gut, like for investing, I'm definitely doing that. But I joined a Forex team too.
Yeah.
And dude, they've taught me so much, because it's like what you can do is you can project, and then you can be like, okay, I have a solid projection. This really is possible to happen. It's either going to go this way or this way. There's one of 2 projections that's going to go. Once it hit this point, it has to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I can bet on this. What does my gut feel? You know, like, so you have information and everything. And that's what I've been doing, bro. Like, I cashed out $180 on my first week. My Webull with all my free stocks, and my I bought Aurora cannabis stocks, and they're up 62%. So, like, between all that, that's like $220. I have $240 in profit in my Voyager account, and then I have like various other places like $50. So just in my first week, I've almost made $1,000, like just investing and everything. And that's before I get to trading on Forex, because Forex is day trading on currencies. Like, I was practice trading on gold. So you literally bet on the price of gold. It's crazy.
It's a whole new world, man, for sure.
There's systems though that you could predict it, unless something, you know, like the GameStop thing happens, where like a giant spike happens. It's hard to predict that. But once it starts flattening out, you can start predicting patterns of what happened in the past and what's happening now, and then compare them and be like, oh, this is what it's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can even see when it's like, oh, it's dipping, it's time to buy. But sometimes when it's dipping, it's actually not time to buy, because it's dipping only to take a giant spike. So it's like sometimes you want to be more patient, let it dip a little bit more type of thing. And
exactly.
I can't wait to learn more, because just with the little bit they taught me, I'm making money already. And those guys, I get texts all day from my group, dude, my 4X group, and these are real people. I've met the dude that is running it, and we Zoom call and all that stuff. So like these are real people, bro, like me and you, and they're just texting me like, oh, just made $200 in a minute. I'm like, damn it, because I'm still training. Like they don't even like you to like until you're ready. They don't want you to put your money in there. Like they want you to be like, okay, you understand this? This is all right. We're gonna give you tips, and we want you to, teach us things too. Like things you're seeing, because your eye sees a different pattern than we do. Because I was catching some of that in training. Like, damn, all right, I didn't see that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
because I like
absolutely.
numbers.
I hate them, but I like seeing them in my account.
I love numbers, dude. Like I've always been obsessed with numbers.
It's weird because I'm obsessed with like counting. It's weird, and I met my dad like for the first time. I don't call him my dad.
Apparently, you can brag on Weeble about your performance.
That was pretty good.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
No, you're good. And like I told him, like this is the first time I met him, and I was like I hate math, but I'm obsessed with like counting. And he was like, yeah, you get that from me. And he like did some shit, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He's like, yeah, you get that from me. I was like, shit, well, I don't want any traits from you. Like I don't want anything from you, bro. Like, but yeah, apparently he was a writer too. Like he was really descriptive in writing, which would explain my love for like, I love lyricists. Like I love Loaded Lux and Rakim and Eminem. Like I'm just really into like lyrics, even though I'm not a lyrical rapper by any means. I look up to them so much.
Yeah, that's like out of any compliment you said about my music, when you first sent back like feedback about like the rough draft of my album, you were like, dude, some of the pockets and some of the words that you made rhyme on this, and like just some of the like I don't even know how you did it. Like so you said something along those lines, and I was just like, oh, word.
Yeah, because I remember like specifically like that one song that you were like, how do I go about it? Or like I'm thinking about stopping here, and I'm like, nah, because we need like
resolution.
Yeah, we need that resolution. Like otherwise it's just incomplete. And I remember there was a line in there, and I was like, I would have never thought to rhyme that word. And I was like, that's good, because with lyricists that I really like, I don't like predictability. Like at all. I don't like the predictability.
Same.
And yeah, you were just way above that. And I was like, that just adds like another element to a song that you're listening to,
Yeah, it's a story, and like you don't even realize it's like rhyming, because everything is just like, it's just pronunciations of a word to basically rhyme.
Yeah.
But it's like they sound so like after I listened back to it, I was like, damn, all right. Like I've always been a huge Eminem fan, and that's like always what I've tried to emulate, is trying to like rhyme words that don't fit at all.
And this one, what made it so successful is it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like you were trying to force it. It was like, bro, that like you're in your bag right now. Like this is perfect. And to be honest, I was like, man, I don't know if he's gonna be able to like keep it up the whole song, But you finished it, and I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's the one song I have not really nitpicked at. I like recorded it because it's just rapping, so it was easy to mix. The beat is super simple, like it stays the same, like it's just a story, so the mixing was mad easy. And I basically like, I've done a couple things just to master it, make it sound a little better, but I haven't really touched that one. I barely even listened to it because I'm like, that's perfect. Like that was when I did
And
that, I was
sometimes
like,
they are.
damn, yeah.
I mean, there's no other way around it. Sometimes the song is literally just perfect, and it's like the more you add to it, the more it's going to take away, and so it's better to just leave it. And I feel that's how that song is.
Yeah. I'm excited for whatever's next, man. For
Yeah.
all of us. For all of us. I haven't even heard Matt's whole album. I've heard a lot of it, but I haven't even heard that whole album. I've only heard a couple. I think I've actually really only heard one song off your album, and it's crazy.
My album, bro, like I'm definitely happy with it. There's just like I said, a couple of songs that I'm really just gonna sit with my engineer and just be like, no, this is how it needs to sound, and this is how it's sounding right now. Like we need to fix it. But the rest of it, bro, I mean, I got a song on there. I mean, there's some personal songs on there, some songs about how I was feeling at the time, and it's like not even love songs. It was like my very intro track is actually the name of my album, which is called Reflections,
Mm.
and it's literally just like everything I was feeling at the time, bro. And I mean, I was feeling animosity from people I thought were in my corner, and I didn't say any names, but I just went at them. I was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, that's how it be sometimes.
Yeah.
It's venting for sure. Like I went through a lot, like with the the diminishing of Urban Acres, and then like me starting up Urban Extracts, and like everything that's happened in between all that, and before that, and just leading up to it, it just was like, all right, I need to get some shit off my chest. Like it was nice to write. That's why like I start the whole album with like, that shit feels weird. It was
Yeah.
like I don't even do this anymore. Like I don't write out my feelings. I just bottle it up. Like it's just
Hmm.
all right. Let's do this.
It's wild, man. Like being able to actually form a cohesive verse
hmm
with how you're feeling. I wish more people could feel that. And a lot of times with my buddies, they try to rap or something, like it's dope that you inspire them, but they
Yeah.
seem to think it's just putting two lines that rhyme together, and it's like there's literally no cohesion. And then how you flow into the next part, before you know, you listen to a whole verse and you forgot you were listening to a song. That's what I always like aspire to do. That's one thing I've heard, like you and Cash and Mass. I'll legit just sit there and listen and be like, when do they switch up, or how do they lead into the next topic? And like I'll sit there, and that's what I do with all songs. I'll break it down. I don't ever just listen to a song. Like I'm actually just dissecting all the elements to it.
My verse on Matt's album is fucking crazy, dude. It's
Yeah.
honestly crazy. Like it was like he put it perfectly. He was like, it's like we made this song back in 2014. It's
Mhm.
like we never stopped. I was like, yeah, it does feel like that. Like it was crazy, dude. I wrote it so quick too. Recorded it mad quick. Kasha mixed it, so I didn't have to do any work. It was just like write and record. That's easy.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now I guess I could see why Nick would write quicker now, because it's like more work on mixing than writing.
It really is, but see, that's the part that I love because, like I said, having the concept in your head and then bringing it to life is the part that I like the most. I don't really like the writing. I don't really like the recording. I actually love the mixing. Like I obviously want to be on the track, but my most fun is like dialing in what are elements that we could bring to this track, and it's like I don't know. It's like hearing a painting.
Mm, that's a great
And
way to put it.
yeah, and that's what I love the most about it.
Oh yeah. Well, fuck, man. We've already been here for an hour and 20 minutes. This shit just like flies.
It
The,
really does. Like it
one,
does not feel like it.
one of my podcasts, it was just like I looked up and it's like 2.5 hours. I'm like, Jesus. And we ended up talking for like another hour and a half almost after that. And then like an
Yeah.
hour and a half off air too. It was. There's
It's
some,
wild, man.
sometimes you get into some good conversations at the end and then you get off air and it's like, yo, and then you say the stuff you can't really say on here.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean that's what it is too. Like I really don't get a lot of time to talk to you or Cash. Life moves in different ways for everybody. So it's like
Yeah.
you just really don't get that time unless we're on the Xbox or something.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's nice about Xbox. Except sometimes, I guess in like the battle, you can't really talk and stuff. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jesse and Nick love being in the sticky situations in COD. Like they love just dropping right into everything. Me, I'm like, I land on the outskirts. Like when I play solo, bro, I get like top tens in solo steady because like I land on the outskirts and I kill my way in, and I'm just like I'm just like, all right, I'll get like a loadout by the time I even reach my first person, and then they're not even seeing me, sneak up on them, bop bop, they're dead.
Yep.
I do all my best work in solos, like, and then I get on with them, and they're like, go go go, but I'm getting better at like kind of keeping up with it, because that is, like it or not, that's the style you gotta kind of roll with when you're streaming, just to keep it interesting and whatnot.
You
Like
really do.
I see why they do that, so it's like it's making me better, definitely. Like I was slapping with them a couple games yesterday, and then I started falling off. I was like, fuck, dude, this is such a hard pace to keep up with.
It is, man. But like down the road, like you said, you've already came a long way or come a long way, and you're able to kind of keep up with them, it's only going to get better and
Facts.
easier for sure.
Facts, dude. But hell yeah. I'll definitely have to get you on again after you drop your album
Yes,
and
sir.
freaking do more school stuff too, because I'm excited for you guys to actually get more into the music side. Like actually learning
Same.
music stuff. Like
Yeah, bro. So I think so in 2 months, like that's the last little bit, and then it's all like sequencing technology and like game design, like game sound design,
hmm.
and recording principles. Everything. It all starts around May or April or May, somewhere around there. So, and Cash actually gets to skip a class, so he'll be in the same class with me.
Why does he get to skip it?
Because he did, it was English comp, so he already did that in school
Uh,
before,
oh,
which
he
is
did
the
get, he got his credits to transfer. I didn't know that.
yeah. So he'll be starting recording principles with me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's super fire. I'm excited for y'all, man. Like I said, I almost did that program in 2011, and it was similar. It was like the same thing, like you do it all through the computer. I just,
Hmm.
man, that money, man.
Dude, I know, and like I thought I was just gonna have to pay it up front, but no, I actually had a huge help. I didn't have to come out of pocket at all, and my first whole year is paid for, and I'm pretty sure my next year will be paid for. The one after that is only gonna be 5 months, so like it's not gonna be that much either. So I'll be
That's
good.
fire.
Yeah.
That's from like the military stuff.
Yeah, I used a little bit of that, but like Cash used like all of his. I was only able to use so much, but because the oil field like had dipped down, so whenever I did my taxes, I didn't have that much that year for the tax bracket. So I actually got to use the full like student aid,
Oh
which
damn.
was a hefty amount. Yeah, and I really only have to pay back like 6,000 in student loans, and that doesn't start until I actually like graduate, and that's when it'll start accruing interest. But 6,000 by then, I mean, I should have saved up, and I'm just gonna pay off the principal.
Hell yeah. That's not bad at all. That's
Yeah,
not bad. I keep telling Cash that I'm like, man, sometimes I just want to like pick up my DD 214 and be like, what can I get? Like I'm just
it's
sick
not a
of
bad
playing
idea at
games.
least to check in. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to do like this for a living, but I do, and
Yeah.
it's also gonna help me with my own mixes. Like, and I love mixing people's shit, you know, so I want to make a business off of that.
He's just
Just
like,
chill at
champ can't be better than me at this. What the fuck?
yeah. So you know, I'm happy he got into it, but it's like he knows so much and he already has all these studios. But I'm obsessed with like what does each plugin do, and I like now Slate Digital, you know, they're like top of the line. I mean, Waves is
Hmm.
kind of outdated, you know. You can still get a good sound, but I love learning all about that. And
Interesting.
yeah, so
I never even started messing with it until like Antares.
oh,
That's
bro,
the
I
only
love it.
plugin I even have on there.
Yeah, no, I have so much fun, and there's some free plugins that you should honestly really look into. Like, follow Devon Terrell. Like that dude
Yeah.
is a genius. Him, Wavy Wayne, and Sky Jordan, and coincidentally enough, they all graduated from Full Sail. And you look
Hmm.
at how these guys' businesses is just like booming, and it started with Full Sail.
Yeah, I haven't heard Devon Terrell's name in a while.
Yeah, he's doing a like his own YouTube tutorials, like how to make your vocals stick out, and he breaks
Hmm.
it down for you, and that's what I really like about him. And he shows you before and afters and like stuff you can do to like just boost your mixes in general, man. And I think that's what people need to learn, you know, on YouTube. And that's what I'm going to be using my school learning to boost my own YouTube channel and then branch off my business. I'll mix and master your songs, you know, for X amount. And then I'll do it on stream, or if they don't want it on stream, I won't. And then I'll just kind of show people the process that I use for different people. And that's another thing they teach you in school is like training your ear to hear frequencies. So I've been doing that, you know, so by the time we get there, like I'm one step ahead.
Yep. That's fire, dude. I like that
Yeah.
plan because like you definitely have an ear for music.
I
I was
appreciate it.
I was telling Matt that too. Like I'll just have like a different ear for music. Like I'm just like meh. I don't know. I'm like deaf in one ear basically, so it's I'm just trying to make decent music. Does this sound good? Like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
man, it's dope to to have that though. Like even because I put it this way, like I have the ear for it, but you guys have like the vocal presence for it. I'm like I said, I'm still working on that. I don't know if it'll ever be something where I'm just confident enough, and maybe I am just gonna be an audio producer. But as long as I'm working with music, like I'll be cool with it.
You like Timbaland?
Yeah, man. If I'm the guy behind the boards, I'll be cool. I mean, Neek, who mixed for Lil Skies and the Kid Leroy, I mean, he didn't have any schooling, and now the dude just got a distribution deal, and I mean,
Yeah.
he's set for life. Yeah, and all he does is just mix people shit. He doesn't even make music, so
It's always good to do what you love. I always ask
yeah.
Nick if that's like what he wants to do, and he always says no, which is like so confusing. I get it because he's like, I don't want to like do what I love for work and then hate what I love to do because of having to do it for work.
But
So
they
it's
say do something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
yep.
I know it's like work for him, but for me, it's not. Like he's amazing behind the boards, but I know he's a family man. He's got his good job and home life, and that's great. But for me, like it's music. Like I just want to do music. I don't care. Like I could be on production credits for 6ix9ine album. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't care, bro, because I'm doing music.
Yeah. Making mad money in the background. Like
Yeah.
we were just Nick randomly. We were just like, "Where's John Bellion been?" and then all of a sudden he looks up some of his writing credits recently, and he's writing for Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus, and like crazy dude, just wild. It probably makes sense. Like if John Bellion had anything to do with Justin Bieber's last album, it explains why it's so dope.
Yeah, like and that's the thing, man, behind the scenes that people really just don't get. They don't get that inside look. They don't really know how writing goes. They think some of their
Mm-hmm.
famous most favorite artists just all sit down and they just write a verse and go record it. And that might be true, but music is a collaborative process for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like I think technically, if you even write like a line or a word, you
or
technically
even
have
a
to.
word, yeah.
Yeah. Oh snap! He wrote the song "Holy" by Justin Bieber.
Wow. Well,
Shameless
I
by
mean,
Camila
even Ed
Cabello.
Sheeran wrote some songs for Justin Bieber too.
Wait, "Trumpets" by Jason Derulo. He wrote that.
That's pretty wild.
I know he wrote. I think it was "Monster." He wrote one of the big Eminem and Rihanna songs. The hook for it.
I could
He,
see that.
his writing credits are nuts, dude. Like. Liar by Camila Cabello, Memories, Maroon 5. Yeah, The Monster. There it is.
That also shows you like the versatility and like the range that some people might have.
It
And
really does.
I would be cool with writing song like I've got this kid that I'm working with, man, and once I get up and running, I'm literally just gonna produce all his stuff. Um, he's just got a natural voice and a natural talent. And I love music. I love making music. Unfortunately, I don't ever think I'm gonna be on, somebody's level like that, no matter how hard I study or write. And like I'm cool with it. Like as long as I can still use it as my escape, I'm cool. But this kid is just he's like
Uh,
truly like he's just naturally gifted and talented. His voice is there and he doesn't even realize it. So like I'm gonna do that for him. But he's always like, yo, I'll ghostwrite for you. And I'm like, I'm good, bro. Like you do come up. He's like, well, I'm not gonna use these. And I'm like, if you need, he's more of a freestyler too, which is crazy because the wordplay that he has when he's freestyling, bro, is it blows my mind. But then I'm like, yo, keep going, and he can't. So I'm like, I would be okay ghostwriting for you, like I really would, like I because sometimes like some shit that I write is just so great, but I can't deliver it the way it's meant to be delivered.
it's funny you say that. My camera just died. I'll get a new battery. But it's funny you say that because it says the song "Holy" by Justin Bieber featuring Chance the Rapper. He said that he wrote and he performed it at a concert for his fans, saying that it would be released later in the year. Bellion's fans would begin to beg for it, and eventually it got released by Bieber and Chance, whom John would work with, knowing they would reach a broader audience and more ears overall.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so, I mean, sometimes it's like, just put the pride aside, man. And like I said, music is art. It's beautiful. And if somebody can deliver it better, or, I mean, even going back to like the moving hook, I love that hook. And, you know, I saw the video and Cash was like, do it like this.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and like, it's just stuff like that. Like, sometimes people just have the voice for it, and it's nothing against you. It just,
Yeah, this motherfucker had the nerve to say, "Oh, you know, you could have just reached out to me to have me write a hook for you." Motherfucker. I'd have you write all my hooks.
yeah, man. Like, and I'm always telling him, I'm like, bro, like, send something my way. Like, I'll send him something like, do you like this? He's like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, well, I mean, could you help me come up with a concept for a hook? Because I've noticed if I can write verses, I can't write hooks. And whenever I'm writing hooks, like, I cannot write a verse for anything. It's never been where I could do both. So, like, right now, I'm able to just bang out verses all day, but like, my hooks are really suffering, and it's just like, it's kind of annoying. And he just comes over and he's like, yeah, like, do this, do this. I'm like, okay.
He's so good, it's annoying. Really.
Yeah. For real.
Oh my god. It's not even cool, man. It's alright. It's alright. It gives me great pleasure to know that I still smack him on some songs.
Yeah, man. Like, there's been some favorite verses. Yeah. He's definitely talented, though.
How many songs have you guys done together?
Me and Cash?
Yeah.
Shit. Probably, like, excluding Left Unread, like, just me and him. We did Pouring Rain, we did Dad, we did Midnight Mine, we did Just Me. There's a lot of unreleased shit that we never finished. So I'd say maybe like 8 or 9 songs.
Damn.
Yeah, see, it's funny because on Dad and Pouring Rain, people said we sounded alike. And I was talking to B Silva, and I was like, yo, because he was like, bro, I really love Let Me Breathe. I see you on the credits, but I don't know what song you're on, or I don't know where you're at. And I was like, I'm verse 3 on Let Me Breathe. And he's like, that was you? He's like, I thought that was Cash. I was like, no, Cash was verse 2. And people in my own like hometown, they're like, yo, y'all sound a lot alike. And I'm like, I don't hear it.
Yeah, I guess I get it, but I definitely know the difference. I guess it's just because I know y'all like that. But I remember V Silva said that. He was like, well, where's ATAC? Like, Champ's on this song, bro. Where? Like, third verse.
Yeah. And I just find it so funny. I'm like, again, I guess I know how we all rap, because like Snap also said like, yo, I thought this was a Mass, but it was Adam. And then I was like, no, that's Mass. And he's like, what? It was on You're Welcome 3. I can't remember which verse he was talking about. And I was like, yeah, no, that's Adam. And then I listened back and I was like, is it Adam? I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, there's ways they enunciate shit that you could tell it's this person or this person. He's like, oh, I hear it now. I was like, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I could see that happening, because Matt definitely, it's funny actually, it like popped up on memories the other day, like, I miss my mentor. Like, Matt was putting up a status from like 2012 because I was living in Wyoming. That shit's funny, man. Like, I've definitely heard elements of my style in his style. Sometimes it makes me smile a little bit. I'm like, oh
yeah,
rubbed off on the little fella.
Talented for sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Wait. I told him that the other day. I was like, you have a way better ear than me. And I was like, I feel like I just like can't even keep up lately. Just like, I feel like everybody's making such good music, and I'm just like, I don't know, is this me? Like, I don't know. Am I really like on that level?
I mean, we're always gonna be our own worst critic, like, and that's really what it is. And he even told me, he was like, bro, no, your verse slaps on this, and I was like, really just hating it. And he's like, come on, bro, like, stop doubting yourself. But it's like, he does bring a certain type of energy. I mean, we don't even really talk. Like, I think he blocked me on Facebook or he deleted it or something. We ain't even really been speaking lately. But I'm supposed to have him on a song for my album. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but like, it's nothing but love with me and him. And like, whenever I go up there, like, I'm just gonna like be straight up with him. Like, I mean, I was under the impression we cool, so hopefully we are. Because even if we aren't, bro, I will never shit on that dude musically. He just brings something to a track that I love. I'm like, yo, I love the way he like will, get in his bag. I love his wordplay. And it's not even just when he double times. He does have a way with words. Like, man, he is like a wordsmith, and that's what I really like
Yeah.
about him. And so, you know, having him get that from you, I mean, that's nothing to look down on. It's just, and it's funny because a lot of his influences, like, I don't listen to hardly any of the type of music he listens to, and a lot of artists that he says are crazy good, I think he's 10 times better than. Like, it blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't even know who he's like listening to lately, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know, like, but like he'll play like some screamo type stuff or like some Takashi,
Uh,
and he'll be like, "Come on, bro, this is." And I mean, that's just his mind. Like, he sees music differently than me, you, or Cash sees it. So he might see something in there that we're missing, and I think that's what really helps that kind of genius in him is like he'll take it for face value and be like, "No, this is regardless of how you feel about this person, this is great."
yeah, he sends me the weirdest shit ever. Like,
Yeah. And then you hear him, and it's like, bro, like you're 10 times better than this. And then also how he raps is like, whoever you listen to, you don't sound nothing like them. I can't tell
yeah,
that's your influence, and it's crazy.
yeah. I think he just liked rooting for the underdog, because I feel like he thinks, and I mean, he wasn't always the greatest rapper, so he's definitely grown a lot. But I never was the greatest rapper either. I've grown a lot, so it was like sometimes you feel like, oh, maybe if I just give them a chance, they could be really dope, and they already got some buzz. So like, somebody just needs to like believe in them, and I feel like he does that a lot. He likes rooting for the underdog.
Yeah, yeah. I could definitely see that.
He's always been that way. It's because we are the underdogs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But fuck, dude, I just got so hungry. I'm about to go grab some food.
For sure.
Finish up my yoga stuff. I've been trying to do yoga, bro, because I can't go to the damn chiropractor. This shit
Oh,
works for pain. You just feel your back
yeah.
pop, 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 pop. And you're like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I remember doing yoga for football, so I definitely know.
Helps so much, dude.
Hmm.
But for the people that watch back and listen back on the audio, let them know where they can find you and your music.
Yeah, so Fraley on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all that. Search for Left Unread if you want to hear some of my older stuff, dating back to last year and even before that. Just search Left Unread or either Casher, and you can find me.
Hell yeah. Like I said, I'll definitely have to have you on once your album drops and everything. Maybe do like a promo for that. And
Yeah, most
thank you,
certainly.
thank you for coming on, bro. It was
Yeah, man, I
definitely fun.
appreciate it.
And as always, if you're watching out there, make sure you follow and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Peace out.